Welcome everyone to another episode of Coaching Conversations with Bukky, and I'm delighted to be joined today by my guest Diana Osagie, who happens to be my coach as well. But it's not about me today, it's all about Diana. So Diana, thank you for joining me today.
Most welcome. It's good to be online with you.
Thank you. Would you mind sharing with the audience who you are and what you do, please?
Oh, okay. Diana Elizabeth Etunsa Osagie. Etunsa is my Nigerian name and it means God's power. And I am an ex-secondary head teacher and I am a lead inspector for schools. I coach head teachers who serve in challenging contexts. I founded and I run the Academy of Women's Leadership, which allows women to have a framework that gets them from surviving in leadership to thriving at the leadership table. And I run lots of programs which help people get into leadership and to stay there, to enjoy their promotion as well as securing one. So
okay,
quite a myriad of things, lots and lots of things.
Yes, thank you so much. But as you say, at the heart of it is just developing leaders to be the best they could possibly be and to thrive, whichever role there is. Thank you so much for that. So, and I know I said before that you are a coach as well as having received coaching. So can I actually just ask about your coaching experiences as a former head teacher? What made you decide to seek coaching in the first place? If you would like to share that, please.
You mean coaching for myself or coaching for others?
For yourself, please.
Oh,
yeah.
There was an aha moment. I'll be honest with you, and I've shared it with people, before openly. I genuinely thought that coaching was for people who were not very good at their job. For me, coaching was the first stage of competency procedures. And if you needed coaching, there was something wrong with you.
Yeah. So
I confused coaching with counselling for a start. And even then, counselling, there's nothing wrong with counselling, but I equated counselling with being broken and needed fixing. And I thought coaching was the same thing. You're broken, you need fixing in some way. It was about year 4 of my headship where I came up against a situation which I couldn't solve. And I realised, one, I couldn't solve it, okay, but 2, I had no framework to get into an answer. I was that stuck. I didn't even know how to write about it, how to articulate it. And it was relating to a redundancy that needed to happen, really. Should have happened way before my time, but, the person was still there. But I looked up to that person as a bit of a grandmother figure.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, how do you sack your mum? How do you sack your grandma? Do you know what I mean? Or how do you tell them? How do you tell them it's time to go? Really, what you do is no longer the standard that we need. Wow. Okay. And I had no way of framing the conversation or trying to make this happen. And I said, these decisions are mine. This is what I do. Yeah. And that is when I thought, oh, I wonder if coaching might help. Literally, it was like, I wonder if that's what coaching's for. And so I rang somebody who's a phenomenal coach, and her name's Viv Grant. And I said, Viv, you're a coach, aren't you? Well, I've got this issue and I want you to help me solve it. She went, oh, okay. Can you come over now? Well, no, it doesn't quite work. When can you come? And she did, and she came. And she helped me work through why I couldn't make the decision. Okay. Because I can make the decision, I can make tough decisions, what I do. But why couldn't I make this? Why was I stuck? Where was that coming from? And I mean, at the end of the first one, I went, oh, you're quite good at this coaching thing, aren't you? Oh, and she was, laughing, what have you. But and we carried on from then. We had a great coach relationship, and she still coaches me now. But it was that I got to a place where I didn't have a way of even thinking about this issue, let alone solving it. And that's when I first encountered coaching. Okay, I was absolutely stuck.
And it's really interesting. Thank you, Diana, to hear the shift within your own mindset as to what you thought coaching was. And I think that's part why we've got this series, just to dispel those myths and actually show that you could, you know, you've got effective practitioners who want to enhance what they do. And so they're operating from a place of success to be even better than they already are. So thank you for sharing it. Thank you. Have there been any memorable aspects? Now, what you just shared was quite memorable, but have there been any particular other memorable aspects that coaching has helped you to deal with?
I think when I was dealing with difficult conversations, and so I had another encounter before I had Viv with a guy called Sir William Atkinson, who was one of the very first black male head teachers in the country. I'm talking decades ago. And, you know, when I was struggling, oh my days, I was making mistakes left, right and centre. And I was in the middle of doing redundancies and it was absolutely toxic. It was mad. And I thought, well, I'm getting this wrong, you know. And I didn't want coaching because that's for people who are broken, remember? I wanted someone to tell me what to do. I didn't know that was called mentoring. I just wanted that. So I rang him up. I was like, this is what I do. On the internet, rang him up and I said, right, this is what I'm doing. Tell me what to do. And he just burst out laughing. He goes, who are you?
No formal introduction.
I don't normally pick up the phone. The phone was ringing. If I walked past reception, I just picked it up. Who are you? You know?
Oh my goodness.
I said, I'm Diana Osagie and I'm struggling in my headship. And he gave me a framework. And this is the classic thing. I said, how do you tell people you're making them redundant or you're making their post redundant? You know, I mean, how do you say that? Don't tell me to be confident. How do I say that? And he gave me these starter sentences and all that kind of thing, which was great. I never used them. I went, oh, well, I'll say it my way.
Okay.
I asked for help.
Yes.
And then, well, I don't know. Diana, right? So I, you know, and he said, that's what you do. That's how you say it. That's how you phrase it. And I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I phrased it my way. Oh, well, did it go pear-shaped? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And I got in trouble with the unions. I got in trouble with HR because I phrased it Diana way.
Right.
So rather than listening to the expert, to the mentor, mentoring, do it like this. It wasn't advice. It was a directive. I thought I knew better because I don't know, what am I? I'm from South London. I'm female. I'm this, I'm that. Whatever reason, I used to justify it.
You did it.
When I say it went the shape of the pear so quickly, so deeply. That's what put me off coaching. This kind of, you know, giving me rubbish instructions. But I mean, it was a good instruction, but I didn't follow it.
You didn't follow it, yeah.
I didn't follow it. So that just gave me, I mean, later when I reflect, okay, Diana, you know what? You don't know everything. You really don't. You think you do. You operate like you do, but you don't. You've got the teacher. Sorry, you've got the title head teacher, but you're a novice at this job.
Okay.
I've been in leadership a long time up until that point. I've been a senior leader for over a decade, but I've never been a head teacher before. And the jump between deputyship and headship is
massive. Exactly. Significant. Yes. Significant.
And you're at the bottom rung of headship. You're not at the top of deputy headship.
Yeah, that's a good way.
It hasn't clicked that. And when someone tells you what to do you mind just behaving yourself, Diana, and doing it? I had to give myself a proper talking to. Tell myself off because, you know, I said things in a way that was unnecessary. I treated people in a way that was unnecessary because I was doing it the way I thought it should be done rather than doing it from a place of experience. Because I had someone who's done it and they told me what to do and I ignored him.
Experience and wisdom as well.
And wisdom. And I thought I knew better. And I've been in the role 2 days and he's been in the role 20 years. I mean,
gosh.
When you say it now, it sounds so ridiculous, doesn't it?
But sometimes we have to learn the hard way because we think we know. So can I ask you an additional question in that case? Because you mentioned 2 examples, one of coaching, one of mentoring. How do you define coaching and how is it different to mentoring?
I'm sure there are many ways. The way I do it, coaching is helping you to find your inner answer. What do you think? Why do you think that? Let's work this through together.
Okay.
Mentoring is, I will tell you what I think you should do.
Okay.
Either I've done it before myself or I've seen it done, and I'm going to give you clear examples of how to do this. They're not as divorced from each other as you think. They're cousins. They can interlink quite carefully. Yeah. But, you know, I'm telling you what to do, if you like. Take it or leave it, but that's what I'm doing when I'm mentoring you. I'm coaching, I'm helping you to find yourself in this and what you think should happen. And we bounce that back till you get to a place of resolution, and then you're able to move forward, you know? So that's, and when I'm coaching heads now, they choose what they want. Diana, help me. Diana, tell me. Yeah,
complete ownership in that regard. Yes. 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 All right. Thank you. So last question. I mean, this is really, thank you for your insights. It's really interesting. What benefits would head teachers generally get from coaching? Now, you shared some of your own examples. Post-pandemic, post-lockdown, post everything we've experienced, what benefits from coaching would head teachers actually get?
I think, let me just clarify now where I stand with coaching. I no longer think it's for broken people who can't do their job, right? I think it should be compulsory that head teachers are given a coach outside of their organisation for the first 2 years of headship. I think it should be compulsory. I think it's negligent of us to expect people to walk into this kind of role without a coach. I think it's negligent. We don't do that with doctors and nurses. My sister's a doctor, and when she became a doctor, she wasn't let loose on the patients. She had a supervisor for the first 2 years. You know, when she became a surgeon, another supervisor. You can't just, right, here's a patient, off you go. But that's what happens. In July, you're deputy head. In August, you're the head. Here's the keys. Here's the budget. Off you go, son.
And you mentioned about that big gap between.
And there's a gap. And it's not a 6 week summer holiday gap. It's a gap in experience, in knowledge, in culture building, in relationship building. So have a coach outside of your organization so their agenda is not in any way tainted. In the best possible light, but not tainted by the fact that they work for the same organization that you work for. So get one that's independent, that you can be utterly honest with. And if you need to say, my chair of governors is the right muppet, then you can say that. And if they've not been hired by the chair of governors, so therefore you can say they're a muppet. I'm dealing with a load of muppets here. You know, they're in Narnia, these people. Or you can say, I don't feel adequate. I feel utterly inadequate. Find someone with whom you can be utterly truthful. Or you can say, I'm having such success. Help me to cement it and to grow it.
Good. Okay.
It has to be negative. But it's got to be, I think, that independent, skillful voice in your ear that you can call upon for the first 2 years of one of the most important jobs on the entire planet.
Wow. Okay. So I did not expect you to say in terms of it being compulsory. So that really...
I think it should be. I think it should be. Every head teacher is given £10,000 as part of their welcome package to a new school to get themselves an independent coach for 2 years. I think it's that important, you know. And I think we would have less burnout, less stress, less craziness, less mistakes, or fewer mistakes, if we allowed people to have quality coaching by their side when they take up the role of headship and hold the narrative of young people's lives in their hands at that level. We expect them to do that on their own? Really? Come on, come on, come on. Of all the things that we spend money on, we've got to give head teachers that independent support so they can do this job that we're asking them to do.
And sustainably.
And sustainably. And we don't want them to be appointed 2 years, then they leave. 1 year, then they leave, because literally they just came up against things they couldn't solve. You know, so I think it's that serious. I think we're being negligent. We wouldn't even consider it with doctors. Wouldn't even consider it, letting them just loose straight out of med school. Wouldn't consider it. But what do? Straight out of deputy, off you go, love. You know, run that school. Really?
A very powerful comparison and compelling argument. Diana, I could honestly listen for ages, but that's the end of our episode today. Thank you so much.
You are most welcome.
I hope everyone that's joined in has actually got something, you know, gained some insights and more clarity about the positive impacts that coaching can have upon successful people. Thank you so much again, Diana. Take care, everyone, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.